and any information I give you can change as the investigation progresses. So at around 6 o'clock tonight, we had officers that were driving home from work when a reckless vehicle drove by them on I-65 near 30th Street. The behavior was described as almost hitting another car, driving at an excess of approximately or close to 90 miles an hour is how it was described to me. The officers engaged in a vehicle pursuit for a short period of time at around 6:10 p.m. Supervisors from the Northwest District terminated the pursuit at approximately 56th and Lafayette based on the behavior of the driver and the fact that the speed of it approaching that intersection. The officers terminated that pursuit and turned the lights off and drove at normal speeds and normal driving behavior. A short time later, one of the Northwest District officers observed the car coming, I believe it was eastbound on 62nd Street, and the car pulled in behind this Ace Key Lot building right there. At that point, the officer got out of the car. The suspect took off on foot, and there was a foot chase that ended just a short distance across the street over there. What we know across the street over there was a confrontation between the officer and the suspect. It appears at one point the suspect tried to utilize his taser. Whether it was effective or not, I don't know. Shots were fired. It is believed at this time that shots were fired by both the officer and the suspect firing at the officer, and then return fire from the shots fired at the officer with return fire by the officer. The person who is being chased is deceased on the scene. The officer is uninjured at this time. The officer and the suspect were the only ones there at the time this occurred. Right now, the critical incident response team is investigating this incident, and that is the quick summary of what I know at this point. Like I said, is the things I think is what we believe occurred at this point. As the crime lab processes the scene and evidence is recovered, we'll be able to know for sure exactly, well, not exactly, but more information about the information I just provided you here. I'll take some questions. I may not be able to answer the questions that you have.
Chief Bailey, just based on what we're hearing up there, races of the suspect and the officer.
The suspect is a black male. The officer is a black male.
So you said he fired a taser first?
I don't know the progression of it, but based on the evidence that's on the scene, the taser was utilized in some capacity.
From the officer? Or you said the
taser was used. I'm sorry if I said that. I apologize.
You said the suspect
sorry.
had a taser.
No, the suspect didn't have a taser. The officer. I'm sorry if I said the officer. His taser has been deployed over there. Yeah.
And was a gun recovered from the suspect?
There is a gun near the suspect. Yes, that does not belong to the officer. The suspect did have a gun over there. Yes.
So when somebody is driving, Chief Bailey, when do you guys start pursuing them? Kick up like a pursuit?
Well, it just depends. I mean, the officer always has discretion whether or not he's going to address the driving behavior or not. But the driving behavior was as such that the officer felt like it needed to be addressed. So he attempted to make a traffic stop. The person driving the car didn't stop the vehicle, and that's what started the vehicle chase.
That chase on foot, did the suspect stop? Is that how that happened?
Yeah, the pursuit was terminated. Supervisors the pursuit started about 6:01. At 6:10, Northwest District supervisors terminated the pursuit. Officers turned off their equipment and started driving at normal, and there was no more pursuit at that point. The officer called out officer-involved shooting at 6:16 approximately. So 6 minutes after the pursuit was terminated, that's when the officer called out the officer-involved shooting.
Okay.
And there was no more vehicle chase. It was a foot chase at that point. The officer saw the car again. The car had stopped. The suspect got out and ran. The officer gave chase. Anything else?
As far as what people were talking there about a video posted on Facebook, is that something IMPD is aware of, reviewing
Yeah,
at all?
we were made aware that there was a video that was posted on Facebook. Though the officers and the detectives have done their due diligence in preserving that evidence through the proper legal channels, and if it's associated, if there's information on it that's appropriate for the investigation, they'll utilize it, yes.
What's next? How long will we be out here? What's next?
We'll be out here for a little while. The crime lab's processing the scene now, and I don't think there's a lot of officer statements to take out here today, so we'll be out here for a couple more hours. The officer will be placed on administrative leave, like they always are in these situations.
But only the officer and the suspect witnessed this whole thing, you said?
As far as I know right now, unless there's something the detectives are, the only two people that were there were the officer and the suspect. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.